Live. I think it's happening. We're live. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm Dave Guerra. This is Wednesday, April 8th, 2018. I had to look at the days are just rolling together. This is crazy. This is Let's Have a Chat About Leadership for Wednesday, April 8th, 2020, where I am your host, David Guerra. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. So if you're watching live, thanks for, we're an hour early. And again, like I said, because I have that show with my brother a little bit later on. But so we're going to go ahead and go live. I tried doing the recording. It just didn't work out. So thank you for stopping by. And if not, well, that's okay. If you're watching this post, thanks again. So again, let's have a chat about leadership. This show is where I remind you and everyone that everyone else is, or everyone is a leader or a future leader. So don't forget that. Again, we're talking to leaders and future leaders. That's what this conversation is all about. So I'm talking to you. So let's dive in. We're going to continue where we left off yesterday. We're talking, let's have a chat about time management. We're in part 2 now. This is part 2 of a 3-part. Again, tomorrow, part 3. And so we did the first 6, and where's my list of first 6? And I'm just going to really briefly review them. 1, create a daily plan. 2, assign a time limit to each task. Create and use a calendar. Assemble and use an organizer. Know your deadlines. And of course, always learn to say no. It's okay to say no, especially in these trying times. Everybody's facing the same situation. So again, it's okay to say no. It really, truly is. So let's pick up where we left off. Number 7, target to be early. Target to be early. You have a meeting you need to get to online. Be early. That way you test all the technology out. I had a meeting earlier this week, and my tech was fine. The other individual was fine, but the third individual could hear us, but we could not hear that third individual. So we had to scramble, and we rescheduled it for today. Luckily, everything worked. We were all happy, and the meeting, well, it was over in like record time, which was pretty cool. So again, just goes to show. So ensure you're early. And then once we're done with all of this and we're moving forward and the time has gone on and we are now able to meet face to face, again, continue that targeting to be early. Be early, be on time, be early, because early is late. How is it? And if you're late, well, don't even bother because it's late. So early is late. So kind of think that way. 5 minutes early, well, again, good, but again, are you really truly early? Because again, what if you're not ready, you forgot something? Again, work it. Okay, next, number 8, time box your activities. And I kind of talked about this yesterday where, again, know your deadlines, soft and hard deadlines, and assign a time limit to each task. But time box it. Ensure that nothing else penetrates, nothing else deals with it, nothing else is going to change it. Lock it down. And once you start locking things down, then you start feeling better because 1, it's not going to change on you. 2, you can start building around it, doing other things. So again, box in your activities. Know that from 5:30 to 6, you're prepping for your live show. Know that at 6:30, you go live with your brother online every Wednesday. That's the kind of stuff. And it's boxed in. It's not changing. That's just the way it is. So that's a good thing. Number 9, have a clock visibly placed before you. And I'm talking not this, because again, you still have to activate it. That means you have to be aware that you have to activate it. And your little clock down here in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, well, that might work, but sometimes you don't. So you need to make sure you have a clock, again, because you're boxing in your time, you're scheduling things, you're keeping to your schedule, you have your priorities, you have everything laid out. You have to have a visible reminder of where you are and what's going on. And don't be afraid to use the countdown timer apps and stuff like that that are online or on your phone, stuff like that. Again, if you need that assurance, if you need that reinforcement, if you need to know that, hey, this is really what's going on, then by all means ensure that you have a clock visibly by, because it's going to help you keep on that time box. It's going to help you with being early, and most of all, it's going to help you with planning your day and ensuring you're on track. Speaking of clocks and being early, set reminders for 15 minutes before. Again, using that clock, using the scheduler, using your Outlook, using your Google Calendar, whatever you happen to use use it to your advantage where you're actually setting 15-minute reminders. Talk to your Alexa app. If you got one of those smartphones or smart speakers, talk to your Alexa app and say, Alexa app, here it all flows, right? And ask Alexa to set a 15-minute reminder. And she'll prompt you. If you don't give enough information, you're going to get prompted, which is a really cool thing. But 15 minutes prior, like you got to leave it at 5:45. Well, guess what? You're late in leaving because that reminder should have happened 8 minutes ago. And that's when we're doing this session here. So again, set reminders, use them, believe in them, foster them, keep them going, and don't let go of them because they'll help you. Even if you've created that habit, you've created that lifestyle, ensure that, hey, you got yourself covered forever and ever because, again, it's that important. Next in this time management is focus, and I think that's really a top priority. It shouldn't be down here, but again, I want to kind of use it at the apex of, because the apex is a big word, the apex of this session, of this 3-day session. I want to use the apex as the time to remind you that, hey, it's important to focus. Oh, my throat suddenly got dry. That is insane. So focus on what's going on. Put your attention. We talked about the multitasking. We talked about, sorry about that. Oh, so we talked about multitasking and how you can only have up to 80% of your time dedicated to that task, especially because you are multitasking. So ensure that, hey, you're focusing start to finish. And golly, it got dry all of a sudden. So focus, work on that focusing, actively work on focusing on what you're doing, actively work on that. And it's going to be one of those skills, that life skills, soft skill, that it's going to take a lifetime to master, but the moment you start actively working on it, it's going to be ones that you start seeing instant results. So ensure you focus. Next, block out distractions. Because you are focused, because you have that clock, again, you already have 2 distractions. One is you're actively trying to focus, and 2 is you have that clock visibly there. But what about you're working at home? What about the kids? What about the TV? What about the little beep on the coffee machine when you're done? When the machine is done and it's turning off and it beeps and it lets you know, or the microwave, or the Alexa 15-minute reminder. Those distractions, there's some that are required and some that just don't need to be there. Do what you can to minimize and block out distractions. Outside noises, will obviously turn on some soft, soothing music or some music you can work by. There's a lot of great playlists out there. So ensure you're using them because, again, they're labeled music to work by, a playlist to relax with, a playlist to do your homework, whatever you need to do. And I'm more sure by now there's a playlist for stay at home, work from home. So do that, follow that, be intentional about blocking out your distractions. Next, track your time spent on all tasks, no matter the size and the priority. Track your time because, again, you start looking at things and you start seeing these trends. And really what it's all about is trends and adjusting to those trends. You start seeing the trend that you're spending much more time on one activity, which has a low priority. Maybe it needs to get bumped up. Maybe you need to move that up to a 2 or a level 1 priority, a top tier priority, because you're spending X amount of time, more so than what you think is a type 2 or a level 1 priority, those urgent, important ones. And could be you need to flip it and see what happens, and maybe you start bringing it down. And those that are out there, those that need to have that attention, those that are urgent and important, then those are the ones that get the more attention. But when you flip it and you're addressing the ones that you believe are not, but they actually turn out to be. So work on that. That's one. It's another one you're going to have to work with. And because we have this time, you're going to have to deal with it accordingly. So work with it accordingly. Next, track your time spent on all tasks, no matter size. Well, we talked about that next. That is it. So remember that. I looked down and I just dove right into that line. So it's talking about focus, right? So there we go. Listen, here they are again, real quick. Target to be early, no matter what it is. A meeting, an online meeting, Zoom, Skype, whatever, Facebook, whatever. It again, and once we get returned back to normal or some kind of normal, and we're actually able to meet face to face, carry that on. Carry that on. Time box your activities. Build that box, and nothing penetrates that box. Nothing deviates from the box, just like nothing will spill out of that box. This is it. This is what you're working on. Have a clock visibly placed by you. So again, you know where you are in time. So you're still on your schedule. You don't fall behind on your schedule. You don't give too much time on something that doesn't need that much time. Set reminders for every appointment, every task, everything you're doing. Set those reminders. They're there to help you, and it doesn't hurt to have reminders. Next, focus, especially when you're diving in deep and you're focusing, have those reminders. Focus, work on that focus skill, work on that soft skill. You're going to need it. You're going to need it because as working from home becomes the norm, I hope not, but it will become the norm, then that's when you know that you need to ensure that you're focusing, that you're just head first, head down, right into that project, right into that situation, and you're addressing it. Next, block out those distractions, not the transactions. We need transactions, but block out those distractions. It's urgent, it's critical, it's how you stay focused. So block out that noise, that white noise, or that noise, not necessarily the white noise, but that other noise that is distracting, car honks, traffic, if it's right outside your window, whatever, but be proactive about it. And of course, this is for spotting trends. Track your time spent on all tasks, no matter the size and priority. You start seeing those trends because you're spending that much time or not enough time, or you need to add more time because you boxed in an activity. Now you need to add more. Well, you get to see it because you're tracking it, and you can kind of play with your schedule that way. So again, being proactive instead of reactive. And in some cases, unfortunately, you're going to have to view things that have happened in order to spot those trends. But that's where you become proactive. So that's it. That's it for today. Those are the time management tips I have for you today. We close this out tomorrow. So as always, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or you just want a little bit more, by all means, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Ask me a question. I'm here to help. We're all here to help. Everyone's here to help. It's that time where we got to look out for each other and take care of each other and point it and help get each other back on track, because again, that's the only way we're going to succeed. Remember that. And as the walking leader, that's what I truly believe in. Is we got to get out there one extra step. We got to step up. We got to step in to step up. And that's it. That's the only way. So get to work. So thanks again for watching. Have yourself a good evening. I will talk to you tomorrow.